Hello and welcome to Midday Update. Coming up are the headlines for the day. Activities of Cultural Week launched in Dakhiliyah Governorate. New devices installed to monitor organic pollutants in Dakhiliyah. 5th edition of Fine Arts exhibition inaugurated in North Al-Batana. India is world's largest democracy and home to great diversity of faith, says US. Ukraine and Russia have to return to the path of diplomacy and dialogue, says India at UNSC meeting. Trump Organization's 2 companies found guilty of tax fraud in US. FIFA World Cup news. It was a game strategy, says Portugal manager on Ronaldo's omission from starting 11 against Switzerland. Morocco hold nerve to knock out Spain 3-0 in penalty shootout, qualify for quarterfinals. Those were the headlines. Now for the local stories for the day. The activities of the Cultural Week were launched at the Nizwa Cultural Center under the slogan Towards Sustainable Cultural Development. It will continue until the 13th of December. The Cultural Week includes a number of activities including theatrical arts, science and technology, library activities, and the open day for women and children with the participation of a number of government and private agencies as well as libraries and civil cultural centers. Sheikh Amin Rashid Al-Abri, Assistant Director of the Culture and Youth Department in Dakhiliyah Governorate and the Supervisor of the Cultural Week, said the following. The program aims to develop young people's skills in various cultural aspects and to enhance identity and citizenship through the implementation of works of an authentic Omani nature through plastic arts, national instrumentals and melodies, in addition to enabling partnership between the Cultural Centre and other cultural institutions in the Governorate. 4 new devices were installed at a crematorium of dead animals in the Wilayat of Bidbid, Dakhiliyah Governorate to monitor persistent organic pollutants. The work team is implementing a project to update the national plan for the Stockholm Convention on Persistent Organic Pollutants. It installed 4 new devices to monitor persistent organic pollutants in the crematorium for animals in the Wilayat of Bidbid. This brings the number of persistent organic pollutant monitoring devices to 12 distributed in a number of regions, Environment Authority said in a statement. This comes within the framework of the project to review and update the national plan for the Stockholm Convention on Persistent Organic Pollutants, which is among the projects implemented by the Environment Authority with the aim of measuring the percentage of emissions of organic matter into the surrounding air and finding appropriate solutions to reduce and limit its emissions. A fine arts exhibition was inaugurated at the University of Technology and Applied Sciences in Shinaz, North Al-Batana Governorate on Tuesday, December 6, 2022. The University of Technology and Applied Sciences in Shinaz, in cooperation with North Al-Batana Education, inaugurated the Fine Arts exhibition in its 5th edition. The exhibition aims to create a partnership between the university and the local community and support talents in various fields, including plastic arts, while highlighting the glorious works of art at large. Asila bin Khamis Al-Hinai, Supervisor of Fine Arts, said the following. The exhibition includes 230 paintings of plastic art in which a number of teachers and students from 9 schools in Shinaz and Liwa participated. Those are the local stories. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with international news. Stay tuned.
Play, you listen.
You talk, we listen.
You got something to say? We want to hear it.
95.4 in Muscat.
And 91 in Salalah.
Music, news, views, and everything in between.
TFM.
TFM.
Let's talk.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Now for the international stories. India is the world's largest democracy and home to a great diversity of faiths, the US said on Tuesday. While addressing reporters, US Department of State spokesperson Ned Price said the following. India, of course, is the world's largest democracy. It's home to a great diversity of faiths. Our annual report on international religious freedom outlines some of the concerns we've taken note of when it comes to India. And we continue to carefully monitor the religious freedom situation in all countries, and that includes India. We encourage and will continue to encourage the Indian government to hold its commitment to protecting religious freedom for all, Price added. We engage officials regularly on steps they can take to advance religious freedom. As the world's two largest democracies, the United States and India, we are also committed to an enduring project, he said. This statement came after the Biden administration released the name of countries that are designated under the International Religious Freedom Act of 1998. Blinken also said that Cuba and Nicaragua were added to the list of countries of particular concern, and China, Russia, Iran, Burma, Eritrea, North Korea and Pakistan remain on the list, according to the statement released by the U.S. Department of State. U.S. announcement of these designations is keeping within the values and interests to protect national security and to advance human rights around the globe. Countries that effectively safeguard this and other human rights are more peaceful, stable, prosperous, and more reliable partners of the United States than those that do not. India has consistently called for an immediate cessation of hostilities and has urged Ukraine and Russia to return to the path of diplomacy and dialogue, India's permanent representative to the UN, Ruchira Kamboj, said. While addressing the UN Security Council meeting on Ukraine, protection of civilians and the situation of children, Kamboj said the following. India has consistently called for an immediate cessation of hostilities and an end to the violence. India has called upon both sides to return to the path of diplomacy and dialogue and also expressed its support for all diplomatic efforts to end the conflict. We believe that no solution can arrive at the cost of innocent lives. Our Prime Minister has spoken to the President of Ukraine and Russia on multiple occasions and reiterated India's position. India stands ready to support all such efforts aimed at de-escalation, she added. Recalling India's efforts in providing humanitarian assistance to Ukraine and other low-income countries which are affected by the Moscow-Kiev war, Kamboj said the following. We are providing humanitarian assistance to Ukraine and economic support to some of our neighbors in the global south under economic distress. She also said that the impact of the Ukraine conflict is not just limited to Europe. The conflict is exacerbating concerns over food, fertilizer, and fuel security, particularly in developing countries. It is necessary for all of us to appropriate the importance of equity, affordability, and accessibility on these critical issues for the global south. Open markets must not become an argument to perpetuate inequity and promote discrimination. Children constitute a third of humanity, the most important third, as they are the future of the world. Children are also the most vulnerable to suffering, particularly in situations of armed conflict, and therefore need additional protection and care. The conflict in Ukraine is no doubt severely impacting the 7.5 million children across Ukraine, Kamboj said. It is pertinent to mention that India had launched Operation Ganga to bring back Indian nationals stranded in Ukraine after Russia's invasion. Kamboj hoped the international community will continue to respond positively to the call for humanitarian assistance. A New York jury found U.S. former President Donald Trump's two real estate companies guilty of tax fraud and falsifying business records connected to a 15-year scheme to defraud tax authorities, 3 weeks after he announced his bid for a presidential run. According to sources, Trump organizations Trump Corp and Trump Payroll Corp were found guilty on all charges they faced. However, the Trump family was not charged guilty. Although he was not charged guilty, Trump's name was repeatedly used during the trial by prosecutors about his connection to the benefits doled out to certain executives, including company-funded apartments, car leases, and personal expenses. According to sources, the Trump organization could face a maximum of $1.61 million in fines when sentenced in mid-January. The company is not at risk of being dismantled because there is no mechanism under New York law that would dissolve the company. However, a felony conviction could impact its ability to do business or obtain loans or contracts. This verdict comes at a time when Trump is under scrutiny for the classified documents that were found in his Mar-a-Lago home and resort. In August, the U.S. government recovered over 300 documents marked as classified from former President Donald Trump's residence in Mar-a-Lago, including material from the CIA, the National Security Agency, and the FBI. He is also facing a $250 million civil lawsuit from the New York Attorney General alleging his and his adult children were involved in a decade-long fraud. The Attorney General is seeking to permanently bar them from serving as an officer or director of a company in New York State, among other penalties. Trump Organization attorneys say they plan to appeal. Meanwhile, Trump on November 15th announced that he would seek the Republican Party nomination to contest in the 2024 presidential election. Those are the international stories. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with sports news. Stay tuned.
play, you listen.
You talk, we listen.
You got something to say? We want to hear it.
95.4 in Muscat.
And 91 in Salalah.
Music, news, views, and everything in between.
TFM.
TFM.
Let's talk.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update, now for the sports news. Following his side's win over Switzerland in their round of 16 FIFA World Cup match, Portugal manager Fernando Santos said that omitting star striker Cristiano Ronaldo from the starting team was a game strategy. A hat-trick by 21-year-old Gonçalo Ramos and strikes from Pepe, Rafael Guerreiro and Rafael Leao helped Portugal advance to the quarterfinals of the ongoing FIFA World Cup as he thrashed Switzerland 6-1 at Lusail, Qatar on Wednesday. Speaking to reporters after the win, Santos was quoted as saying, "I already explained it, I would not explain it again. They are different players. It was game strategy, all the players are different. I also launched Dalot, Rafael, however Cancelo is also a fabulous player. It is what I thought that we would need for this match against Switzerland." There is no problem between Fernando Santos and the captain of the national team, Ronaldo. We've been friends for many years. Players make decisions. Things do not affect us. I already explained that part was completely resolved, and he set a great example of a great captain, he added. We have to look at this player's history, one of the best players in the world in terms of his goals scored and a captain. Therefore, I think all we have to do is think about the team collectively. I have a very close relationship with him and always have since he was 19 years old at Sporting. Then he started to develop in the national squad. This relationship only develops. We never misinterpret the human and personal aspect with that of a manager and player. I will always consider my role that he is a very important player to have in the team, concluded the coach. Morocco knocked out 2010 World Cup winners Spain 3-0 in a penalty shootout to storm into the quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup at the Education City Stadium on Tuesday in a crucial round of 16 clash. Spain suffered a shocking defeat as no Spanish player could score in the shootout. This was Spain's fourth World Cup loss in a penalty shootout and most by a team on football's biggest stage. Spain and Morocco were unable to break the deadlock in spite of an additional 30 minutes of play as both teams failed to grab their chances to score. The game went into penalty shootouts to decide the winner. The score read 2-0 in the favour of the Moroccans, and it looked like they would steal the game through the next kick, but Simon kept Spain in the game as Badabeno missed to score. Sergio Busquets had a lot riding on his shoulders as Spain looked to score their first goal, but the captain was unable to find the goal, with Bono making yet another save. Hakimi took the fourth kick for Morocco and placed his team in the quarterfinals as he scored through a Panenka kick. The second half saw both teams raising the bar and turning on the heat as they looked to take the lead, which had eluded them in the first half. The game got more intense with every passing minute. Spain upped the ante by pushing forward in the hope of a goal, but the resolute Moroccan defence stood like a wall to deny the Spanish team the lead. Both teams produced moments of brilliance in the game, but none could find the net as the second half also ended 0-0 with the game extending into extra time. An electric first half in a crucial round of 16 clash between Spain and Morocco endless goalless at the Education City Stadium on Tuesday. Spain looked to attack at any opportunity they found, but the Moroccan defence kept their cool and defended superbly to avoid the 2010 champions from taking the lead. The Morocco players did find themselves within close range of the Spanish goal a few times in the dying minutes of the half, but were unable to convert their chances. A spirited effort from the Moroccans saw them keeping at par with the 2010 World Cup winners as the half ended with a scoreline of 0-0. Those are the local, international and sports stories for the day. For more updates, stay tuned and keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.